Oh, hi. Sorry, I was muted. Hey, it's Poisson Variance, your VTuber math lover gamer and nonsense enjoyer. And today, chill out study accompaniment. The perfect... Let me see if I should turn up my game on. Okay, test it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, oh, that's why. I was pretty far away from my mic. Today is just meant to be a pretty chill, relax, lo-fi chat, study with chat with studying. Aw, that's fine. I'm glad you got to say hi, if nothing else. That's all that's important. You just stop by and say hi. Yeah. I'm feeling pretty chill and pretty low energy today, and so I was like, I if my model's eyes are not sleepy enough to properly demonstrate that. But I have not taken a lot of time recently to study for grad school next year. Like, I've been reviewing and whatnot, and I've been reading, but it's like I haven't taken the time to just double down on the concepts and stuff. And so I don't plan on lecturing at all today. I don't plan on teaching at all today. I just figured it could be nice to hang out with some chatting and some music in the background as such. But with that said, hi chat. Hi chat. I have my nails painted. They're already starting to one of them's already starting to chip really bad, and I don't know why. Like, I felt it get caught on something, and so it's like already starting to blech. And then my nails grow fast, so you can see at the base. It's already quickly growing away, and I'm sad because they're pretty. I like pretty nails, and taking the time to paint my nails is already such a pain, and kind of always such a pain, because I'm not good at doing it. And so, in order to do it properly, I have to, like, really dedicate time. Especially because I don't want to chip them on stuff. I don't want to... You know, listen to this while making CCC fan art. Listen, any fan art would be greatly appreciated. Today I hit a fan a bunch of times, so it sounded like a PlayStation. No, today it was fun. The first time ever, I made cookies. I got to bake cookies. I think they turned out just okay. Not super great, not super bad. Like, I had initially wanted to make, like, snickerdoodles, but then they ended up not super sugary like snickerdoodles are. They kind of just taste like baked cookie batter, which I guess technically most cookies do, so if you like the batter, you'll like the cookie. I don't know. But cookies. I made my creations. It was fun regardless. I had a good time. You know what? That's what matters. You have fun doing what you're doing, then do whatever you want. As long as it's within ethical and legal bounds. Although I guess then you'd have to say, like, what about Robin Hood? Because Robin Hood technically does stuff illegally. Is Robin Hood not justifying doing that stuff illegally because it's illegal? Those cookies look like cookies. They taste like cookies too. You wouldn't believe it. They are certified cookies. If it looks like a cookie, if it smells like a cookie, if it sounds like a cookie, which I don't know if it does sound like a cookie. I wasn't really listening to my own crunches while I was eating them, but I mean, cookie's a cookie. I want to review today. Oh, interesting. I never heard of that. Minkowski's inequality is how we verify that a vector space is component-wise addition under a vector space is a binary operation on an LP norm. I didn't know that. Something new every day. So they're just cookies. Yeah, they're in fact just cookies. They're supposed to be snickerdoodles, but I don't know if they are. Whether or not they're actually considered snickerdoodles is... A cookie is an element of a cookie space? True. In this case, a cookie is an element of a... Well, was an element of a baking sheet. And before the linear transformation of cookie dough into a ball, and then that ball was mapped onto the sheet, and then the sheet went through the linear transformation of baking, and then where it was heated in respect to time, and then so if like heat in respect to time, so then resulting function was the shape of the cookie, and so we moved up until the cookie had then mapped to a larger region, but height-wise, the volume of the cookie had actually stayed the same. Topologically, it's pretty interesting. I actually have a poster in my room that says, it's like an ad for radium, as if radium's like a cure-all tonic. It's like liquid sunshine, the safest element there is. This stuff is all pretty trivial. They have a bit of different terminology than I use, though. We can over lattice it. And of it, there's a set. Base. Partially ordered by set in. So then it would be here a subset. Then the zero subspace. Okay. Then S in the lattice. I guess the why is my connection so finicky? As per usual. Start of a stream, guess what's gonna happen? The connection's gonna bonk out a bunch. And that's pretty much just it. It's just gonna go up and down non-stop or until I'm done streaming. It'll straighten out at some point a little bit, and then it'll immediately fall apart again. Greatest lower bound. So it's gonna... This is the different terminology. I'm gonna have to point out to myself that in this textbook, they refer to it as the greatest lower bound. But really, that's just meaning the infimum. I don't know why the terminology is different. This is from... I feel like this is relatively recent. I know this is 3rd edition, but it's... The 2nd edition was in 2005. Perhaps the 3rd edition... 2008. Maybe. They changed common terminology from like... They also have the upper bound as the supremum. But again, I I've never seen that or that outside of this textbook, so... And like these ones, I've even heard referred to in multiple courses, so I'll just replace everything that shows up with that. That'll be easy. Airspace the largest. Okay, so it's... Alright, that's what the lattice would be defined as. Defined as set of all subspaces of the space V. As such, V would be the supremum of the lattice. Okay. I'm really tempted to eat one of these cookies. They're like just sitting there on a plate next to me. I made a whole bunch. But like if I eat them, I will have more. I'm eyeing them. Making me want them. Those cookies know what they're doing. There's some mischievous and nefarious cookies. Oh, do you want to see? Actually, here, let me show it. I took a picture of them, and they they look so photogenic. Those are that's a bit large. Transform. Fit to screen. Look at how photogenic those look. It's like the cookies. They're so pretty. They're like so... I sent them to my partner and they were like, why did you take a snickerdoodle photo shoot? And I'm like, because it was pretty. I also have this one that's really funny. Let me... Yeah, I don't know why this is just like filling the entire screen. This one. That's like a dramatic stage play style cookie. They look so fabulous. They're about to give like a Romeo and Juliet speech. To bake or not to bake? That is the doodle of Snicker, the snickery doodle. Go ahead and move that one. You know what? We're gonna keep the cookies. Picture of those cookies, because I feel proud of them. They're gonna stay right there. Pheasant? An essence? Space. Oh, I never thought of that. So if we have two subspaces, S and T, that are both in V, or sorry, in the lattice, then Connection. Connection's gonna stutter really bad for a second, so this is implying that it wasn't stuttering horrible before. Oh, I know that. That implies that the intersection of them is equal to the both of them, both S and, which makes sense. It's just like visualize it for myself. That always helped me. Even though I think generally in equations, good visuals should help really well with analysis in ways that I never really expected. So I can make my model's eyes like just shoot open. The easiest way to think about it is that kind of plane. S, that's T. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because then just that ends up being, yeah, that's the greatest. Okay, yeah, I get that. Similarly, if you have a collection of subspace, then yeah, the generalized version of it. I'm really tempted to try out more cookie recipes moving forward. My connection. Oh. That opened. Let's find out. Let's play what garbage do I have open in the background. Guarantee it's a lot. Look at that. It's Steam, but that's a... Oh, you guys can see my phone with the model on it. Face reveal of myself already existing. Oh my god. Face reveal of the VTuber behind the VTuber. It was the VTuber the whole time. Who knew? Who knew? A non-trivial vector space over an infinite field is not union of a finite number of subspace. What does it mean? Oh, properly. For that, we assume that B is equal to the union of subspaces, and we assume that one subspace is always one most vector from the infinite set, which is contrary to the fact that that's made up of the sets. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's pretty trivial. Subspaces, the sum of the subspaces is made up of the sum of the components of the subspaces. Oh, okay. That's actually worth noting down for myself, is that the sum of the subspaces is going to be equal to the supremum of those subspaces. Which again makes sense, because if I sum together, in order for it to be a space, sum together would have to remain, have to be closed under addition. All right, and then the lattice would be, finally we would define the lattice of the subspace, or sorry, of the vector space to be lattice of that partially ordered set E is partially ordered and every pair of elements C, and every pair of elements has a least upper bound and a greatest lower bound, as an infimum and a supremum. Yay! Yes, the smallest element and a large element, and has the property every collection of element has a least upper bound and a greatest lower bound, and P is called a complete lattice. The least upper bound of a collection is also called the join of the collection. The greatest lower bound is called the mean. Okay. That, again, that's kind of like terminology that I feel like would be very specific to this. But oh, external direct sums. I don't know if we ever went over external direct sums. I remember doing direct sums. How would I define it? So we have a collection of vector spaces over F. Over F. Okay, that implies that our external direct sum is, we're gonna call it just V. This little notation here, that's like the square with the, like a box with a plus. You can't really see clearly, but it looks kind of like that. Because like a direct sum in general looks like that. Kind of like a hot cross bun. Ah! I dropped my pen. So then, the external direct sum gives us a vector space whose elements are what? Are all ordered tuples of nth dimension. Oh. V1, V sub n, such that V sub I is in the vector space of I for I equals 1 through n. Okay. What would that mean? I guess it would be like... Let me just say it out loud for myself. We have n dimensions, then the external direct sum is every component comes from a dimension. Let's write that out. Every component comes from a vector space. This music's really pretty. I wanted to do music that was different from my usual chill soundtrack playlists that I play on stream and while I work. That was definitely fun. It actually means then that, interesting enough, each component has the dimension of the vector space that it's from. With that in mind, wouldn't it make sense to model it as a matrix? Because then you get this thing where, like, put it up here, star. You'd essentially get like one through V sub n, like that. Those are all vector spaces. Or no, sorry, no, those are all individual components. Huh. And that's assuming that, of course, each column here isn't itself a matrix, which is totally possible, but it's just like, seems like the easiest way for me to visualize it. That sort of like little terminology is stuff that I would always get caught up on. And it's like easy to remember a lot of the larger concepts, I've noticed. But there's tons of smaller concepts that weren't applied extensively, and so those just kind of like got lost in my head since I haven't taken a course in 2 years or so. And even then, it's gonna be another year before I take another one, so... Oh. Yeah, like, because this is a bit beyond the scope of what I covered in my linear algebra courses. It is meant to be graduate level. So in some way, I'm getting a bit of a head start, which is good. But undoubtedly without a professor or colleagues, it will require just some intuitive reasoning and time spent analyzing it in order to figure out what something truly means, which is not uncommon as you get higher in education, but can be tough nonetheless. Alright. Back. So we're gonna define a family. I said so weird, and then my phone was like, oh, did you refer to me? Did you refer to this? I need to turn that phone off. So like, I only ever ask Siri to like replay songs if I'm like in the shower. And so like normally when I'm in the shower, I'll have just like a Spotify playlist going. Or what I'll do is, because I have YouTube Premium, I'll before you say anything, I don't pay for YouTube Premium. I'm on a family account, so someone else pays for YouTube Premium, and I get to reap the rewards of it. The only annoying thing about it is that it'll like throw its own sponsored content at me a lot, and I'm like, I thought your whole thing was that because I'm paying you. Okay, well, I'm not paying you, but because you're being paid by someone, you won't advertise at all. But no, it's like now that's just not the advertisements just aren't during videos. Instead, it's just advertisements that literally take up an entire like column of my like my YouTube or something, which is just so annoying. But normally, so what I'll do, and part of the YouTube Premium thing is that you can queue up songs in an order, so you can have it be like, okay, play this, and then play this, and then, like, you can kind of create your own live playlists, and then delete them. So sometimes I do that, but, or I'll just do a Spotify playlist if I'm in the shower. If I'm not doing either of those, what I'll sometimes do is like, if I want to repeat a song, but it's like sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna hop in the shower for like a super quick, like 5-minute shower. Just kind of like wake myself up. And so I just put on a song that's like 5 minutes. And then I'm like relaxing and I'm like, I don't want to get out just yet. I'm enjoying this too much. And so I'll yell at Siri to play the song again. Or to play a different song or something. But outside of that, I don't do anything, and then it just like triggers on its own. And so I'm like, if I do turn it off, then I would have to remember that I have it off, and every time I want to listen to music in the shower, I'd have to like queue it up specifically. Because I also have enough songs in my playlist where it's not like, I don't know how many playlists people normally have. They have like this is a shower playlist, this is a study playlist, this is a height playlist, this is a driving playlist. I have one playlist, and that playlist is like 150 hours long, and it has, I want to say 1,700 songs at this point, and counting. So if I find a song I like, it gets added to the playlist. That's the playlist. But, and I'm like so far invested, it's kind of like sunk cost fallacy. I just keep adding more and more into it. But I'm not expecting a payout, so maybe it's not sunk costs, because I'm just like, in a way I've, 1 minute, chair. Chair, please. Chair, please. Okay, there we go. I've invested so much into it that if I were to start trying to make new playlists, the amount of effort of trying to take every song that I want and putting it somewhere else would not be worth it. So, from now until the end of time, it looks like I'll just keep adding to that one playlist over and over and over. And I'll just have to, I guess, turn off Siri and then deal with the repercussions of that. The annoying thing about that is, like, also about, like, songs in the shower on a Spotify playlist that contains literally everything, is that if I have a song that has, like, kinda sussy lyrics, and it's, like, in the morning, I would feel bad if anyone gets woken up by a sussy-sounding song. And so I'm like, I don't want to be blasting that. I don't want something like that to suddenly pop up. And that's also why I never play playlists, like, if I'm in the car with someone, it's their music. Or I'm like, if I'm a passenger, I'm specifically cherry picking the songs. I was like, okay, they'll like this, they'll like this, they'll like this, they'll like this, they'll like this. I'm not gonna trust the dice roll of my playlist also. Because, like, my brothers described it as, like, the most, it's impossible to know what's gonna come next, because again, everything just goes into one playlist. A lot of the stuff I do like is higher energy. So there's a good chance if I load up my playlist, it will just be... Oh. Okay, my snaps aren't registering, but it'll just be something faster paced. But then I do have some slower stuff on there, so it really is a case-by-case scenario. One day I might use my playlist as a stream background, like background music, but I imagine that just goes kind of off the rails very quickly, or I'm just like, no, I don't want to listen to that, 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 I don't want to listen to that. Now, if I, like, did not skip any songs, it would be so jank. No one would be able to know. They would come in and be like, oh, it's a sad stream, and then the next person comes in, they're like, oh my god, why is this so exciting? Why is it so upbeat and loud? And they're like, oh, this anime boy seems nice, and then the next song just says the F word 80 times in a row, and you're like, huh? The Spotify, the everything playlist giveth, and the everything playlist taketh away. Space of the vector space of all functions K to the union of v sub I. This one I remember is support and finite support. We define the support of f, where f is a function mapping from K, and we're using the same definition down there. It's supposed to be the union I in K. Okay. And then the support is defined as I in K such that f of I does not equal 0. Kind of like the opposite of the kernel, as I understand it. In this case, we're mapping from the real numbers in this case. I and K. Yeah. And the real numbers. Huh. Thus, a function has finite support if I phi equals 0, all but for a finite number of I and K. So, if the support for f is bounded, it implies that f has finite support. F as finite support. Story of my life. I too have finite support. If everyone loved you, life would get too difficult. You have to create new challenges by being borderline unlovable. Pro tips. Pro tips. Alright, an internal direct sum. This is the kind that I remember working with a lot in my advanced linear algebra course. Right, so say that we have a family of subspaces again. This time we're going to note them S of I, for I in, I don't like that capital I, we're going to say K again. It's trying to use capital I as like a set of lowercase I values, but I'm like, capital I is always the identity, especially in linear algebra. So please, don't do none of that. Don't do none of that. I should learn how to draw so I can do drawing streams. Where's I right? So we have a family of subspaces. So then it never gets written like that. So we're just gonna go ahead and write it like that. touch that. The entire space. For all, I meant. Their vector space is equal to the sum. And they're all independent of one another, that's right. Because the idea is that you put them all together and they directly sum together. You caught me while I was eating a cookie. Sorry. I have been out of college for 2 years. And next year I'm going into grad school. And so I thought it was high time that I reviewed. And so right now I'm just reviewing, some advanced linear algebra. Just the basics right now. Because a lot of the terminology has eluded me. United States. So it's gonna cost me an arm and a leg to even, attend. But luckily, because I'm attending within the same state that I'm currently a resident in, it's gonna be about half the tuition cost per term that it would be for out of state individuals. That's gonna be nice. If I can save a little bit of money, I'll take it. Because unfortunately, that's a byproduct of being in the United States, is the fact that it will always cost you everything just to get a mild amount of education so that you can actually make a real living in the workforce. Like, I was able to get a job because of my bachelor's, but it's not the position I wanted. Age? Oh, 23. Like I said, I was out of college for 2 years. Like during that time I was doing other stuff. Like I was doing research and I like got publication and whatnot. And I've been working, but it's just like I want to go back for more education. I love learning. So that's what I'm gonna do. Right. That's what a compliment is. Never gotten any of those in my life. Okay. Oh, nice. What are you studying for? You in college or because I know like it's not common to get into college early. That's what I did. I was taking college courses in high school. A doctorate program, nice. A doctorate in what? These are all just examples. It's all spanning sets and linear independence. It's pretty basic. Yeah, that's all basic. I think I need basis. That's all trivial. Maybe a vector space. Okay, yeah, let's talk about dimensionality. Nice. Congratulations on graduation. You enter your first summer of adulthood, relative adulthood, and then immediately go back into education. Which, valid. Just make sure not to get burnt out. That's always a very real fear. But that can be relieved as long as you're not taking things on yourself if you have others you study with. Yeah. I mean, even so, when I got right out of college, it took me months. So like I was an intern for, let's see. I was for about 6 months. All I was doing was this very long-term internship. And then after that, I ended up getting a job that I still am at. And that job is just earning me passive cash that I may or may not spend on video games, but it's mainly going towards saving for grad school stuff and whatnot. Was it hard hard having a job? No, it's not too bad. Finding a job is definitely tough with only an undergrad degree, which was my main problem. Because the job I ended up getting, I did get paid more than my coworkers because of my degree, but even then it's like that's the highest I could hit. And even the lab where I interned at, if I had wanted to get a full-time position there, I would have had to have at least a master's degree. And I'm seeing that a lot of places, and so I just decided, you know what? Let's just go back for the master's. Oh, interesting. Too much study. Studying can be fun, but yeah, you just make sure to pace yourself. Find a way to relax and find a way to enjoy it, because your brain's only going to take up so much information, really. Like, I've been going for an hour. Maybe I'll stop and draw or something for a little bit. But you want to be careful about that, because you don't want to do something that'll completely distract you. Like, you don't want to go and, like, try and play video games or something. If that's your shtick, then is that something that just, like, captures your brain? And even something like TikTok can be a bad idea because that's also meant to capture your brain. Trivial. Trivial. Also trivial. Wow, a lot of this stuff's trivial. Got like 7 months till exam. The average student studying for this exam is about 10 hours. 10 hours per day or 10 hours in total? Because those are very different amounts. Bookmark in here just... per day. Nice. Sounds very competitive then. Right, I was finishing up one of my cookies. Sorry, someone was messaging me. Back to it. Back to it. Deficit cardinality, trivial. Alright, that all was... Okay, there we go. Something. I remember this, but it's worth writing down for me. So, B is a vector space. And... is a vector space, and beta is the basis of V. Then 1, we're gonna see if B beta is equal to beta 1 unioned with beta 2. And beta 1 intersection with beta 2 is the empty set. That implies that the vector space is the direct sum of the spaces, subspaces generated by those bases. divided by this. Okay. Good, yeah. I'd forgotten about that terminology. Are they Egyptian language or? I mean, that's any sort of jargon though, where it's like, as you become specialized in a field, if I wanted to explain this information to someone else, the terminology works great for a math major, but in the same way that a biologist would have to explain it to someone else, their jargon would be completely different. Let's see, because I'm pretty sure I have a presentation somewhere from a pathology presentation, analysis presentation. I feel like I do use better terminology. I guess in the manuscript itself is where I change up the terminology. Specifically in the methods section of the in the methods section of the manuscript is where I was able to get really down into the nitty-gritty, and that's where I was able to explain all of my methodology mathematically, and that was really fun. I really enjoyed doing that. And then in the actual what was it called? Because that was in the methods section. In the next section that I'm blanking on the name of, is when I ended up getting to explain all of the... I had to explain it in a more generalized form. Anyways, do I ever get bored? Yeah. I mean, you can, in the same way that you can only take in so much information, a lot of this is review for me, and currently, so that's what helps. In the case of learning new stuff, it's definitely important to not overdo it. I'm also the kind of person who, if I have a project to work around or a problem set to work around, then I can handle that significantly easier. So, like, whenever I'm editing a video, even if it takes me 8 hours to do it, I'll generally do most of that 8 hours in literally one sitting, and then after like 5.5, 6 hours, I'll be like, oh my god, I haven't eaten today. So it really comes down to, but yeah, studying you have to be careful with, because it's a good idea to study a chunk per day, but also find ways to take breaks, and that's why I think that this helps, because this way I can, like, streaming it, I can talk with chat, be those new chatters, be those old chatters, be those people with questions, or people who just want to hang out and lurk. This is a very lurker-friendly stream. You're the embodiment of sloth. Man, one of the coolest things I ever learned... I don't remember the exact numbers, so never mind. The exact numbers are the things that make it interesting. So I don't have anything to share after all. If I had to say I'm one of the 7 deadly sins, what would I be? I seem like a top student? Yeah, that's the sin I am. I am definitely someone who appreciates the importance of of learning of this kind of stuff, projects of education. Hey Shane, we're just hanging out and studying and chatting and whatnot. It is a very, very much relaxed, chill stream. I made cookies, as you can see on the bottom left. Now I'm like curious, what would I be if I was the embodiment of one of like the 7 deadly sins? Probably, I don't know. Because it's definitely not pride. I have very low self-esteem. Sin Archbishop of Cookie. These are the first cookies I've ever baked in my life, so I don't know about that one. I never watched season 3 of that. That's from ReZero, right? I watched season 1. Season 1 I really liked. Cause like I really liked the whole like final arc of season 1. And then season 2 I didn't like at all. And then season 3 I never bothered to see, and I'm pretty sure there's already a season 4. I used to be gluttony, for sure. I definitely used to be gluttony because of my high metabolism. But I'm on new medication, and part of that medication is like... It was never paper. That's not paper. Those are actually the cookies I made. That's a picture I took. It's very photogenic, I know. Anyways, I used to eat a ton, and then I started taking I started just like living a healthier lifestyle. I've always been like underweight, but then I was like, what if I just stop overeating as much? And then I started feeling better. Oh, though there's some pesto pasta in the fridge that I really want now that I'm thinking about it. Because we did like pesto pasta, but we used wheat, like Japanese wheat noodles. They're so creamy and delicious with the pesto. I love it. It turned out way too wonderfully. See, that's how I stop myself from getting bored of studying, is the fact that I just took the time to rant about cookies. That's a nice table, not as good as a toaster. At some point, Shane, I will post a picture of my toaster in the Discord just for you. Or I'll just do like an entire stream where there's just like an image of a toaster just like bouncing around the screen. Don't worry, it will be here one day. It will be here one day. You would watch this. You would be the only viewer, but my god, you would stay there for all 17 hours of it. But you know what? I respect that. Oh, so I was wondering this the other day. Does anybody get the whole left-right Twix thing? It's been happening for years and I've never understood it. Like, be typing in chat too. You would be directly interacting during a toaster stream. You absolutely would be. But like, what is like you choose left or right Twix, but they're the same, right? I was not expecting that question. Oh. The Twix here have stereochemistry, obviously. The proper terminology is RS. What's stereochemistry? Let's Google it. The study of three-dimensional arrangement of atoms and molecules and how this arrangement affects the molecule's properties. Of course. That's the difference between left and right Twix. I should have known. What? You're making me... Matt, you're making me look up so many terms now. Hold on, let me write this down. And then I will Google that. Once you spell it correctly, then I'll Google it. Alright, let's figure out how to spell it. Spelled that wrong. There are molecules that are mirror images but are not. Oh, I get you. Yeah, they're mirrored, but they aren't like interchangeable. The example Google gave me was left and right hands, where it's like they're not exactly symmetrical, but they have the same structure. So yeah, mirrored. Being a polymath. Hold on, let me Google something to see if I can make a joke. Because I don't know the correct terminology. Okay, yeah, I don't know about polymath, but I am poly something. Is there a math term for that? For that mirroring? I guess you could argue, like... I'm trying to think of something. Because you do have a reflection, like that is literally just a math term, is a reflection over a certain axis. Yeah, I guess that would be it. What am I studying? This is graduate level linear algebra. Because I'm going back into grad school, or not back, I'm going to grad school next year. And so I need to shore up my linear algebra. Granted, this book will go further than I ever covered in my undergrad courses, but hey, might as well get a bit of a head start. Plus, I just find it interesting. Ordered bases and coordinate matrices, that's all review. Actually, you know, that's probably a good idea to revise, or review, that's the word. Is the notation. Always tricked me up. That's next year, so that's future use problem. Well, future me won't be able to solve said problem unless past me has studied up some. Besides, I know you would just want me to play Five Nights at Freddy's, regardless. Actually, if she's still active... Enjoy the future now. There's a streamer... There's a VTuber who's pretty small. She has... Last I checked, she had like 70 subs. And... she was playing Five Nights at Freddy's 1 for the first time 2 hours ago. Let's see if she's still alive. Oh, she's up to 90. That was the perfect time to tab over. Yeah, she is still alive. That would be your perfect content, Shane. Do you want me to send her your way? Although I don't know if anyone is really set to handle your definitely not AI generated chaos. Yeah, ordered basis is pretty simple. Her name is... You're not AI? I don't know. Everyone else seems to think so. AI doesn't have to be smart. A lot of the time, in fact, it's not. If I was able to raid on YouTube, I would have raided her stream before, but you can't do that until you have like 1,000 subs and the whole mess of stuff. Getting partnered on YouTube is so difficult. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Am I not calling you smart? I'm not calling you smart, but I'm not calling you smart either. And I'm not necessarily calling you not smart. Well, you know, it all evens out. Your brain hurts due to the smartness. It happens to the best of us, don't worry. Also, funny enough, I actually have a opinion. Intelligence is learned. Intelligence is not an inherent thing. There's no such thing as an inherently smart person. Anyone can be smart. The bit is that you're... Oh, I didn't get that. I guess I'm not smart. I was really confused. I was actually about to ask you that you explain it in more detail. Because I thought the bit was the fact that you were said like hertz, as in like hertz, as in like electricity or sound. See, I don't even know what unit hertz pertains to. So maybe I'm not. See, I'm not smart either. It's fine. Because intelligence is learned. Therefore, intelligence can be unlearned. Which is the story of my life. Actually, the story of my life begins in a large body of water. Not that large. In a body of water. Frequency, it's 1/seconds. Right, that's what hertz is. See? See? That's why chat always there for it. Chat always there for me. My knight in frequent armor. When I was born, I couldn't spell my name. When I was born, I didn't even have a name. I was so behind the curve, like I was 5 seconds old. Couldn't even form coherent sentences. My parents were crashing out so hard when they realized that. I have another image that I want to put on stream. It's really stupid but fitting. That's speaking. That's a musical artist, so you could recognize talent. What is your name? A pretty good movie. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a pretty good movie though. My face is gonna freeze for a minute because I want to send myself that I can then. On your ID, is it just Poisson guy? Yeah, and the quotation mark's even in the wrong place too. Retracted the message. Caught in 4K. Just kidding. It wasn't 4K. That was like 1080p. Alright, I have the perfect image to add. This was this was in a manga I was reading, so I'm just gonna that there. It's a real problem. Yeah, on my ID. Actually got my new ID recently. It looks bad. God, the photo on my ID does not look good. Which is a shame. Because, like, I'm just, like, stuck with that for a while. For, like, 5 years until I renew it, and they'll be like, do you want a new picture? I'm like, yes. Yes, please. Please read the how to read book on how to read the how to read book. What language is that in? I'd really like that. I could really use one of those. How did... I've always wondered, like, how did people who literally didn't understand each other's languages start learning each other's languages? Like, how did the Rosetta Stone get made? It's crazy impressive. Oh no. Oh no. I don't understand, that. Let me. That. Help! Help! Please translate. Please translate. I got 2 years into Duolingo, and I think I'm ready to finally drop it because I don't think I've actually learned anything. Yeah, Japanese. I wasn't sure. I know there are like distinct visual differences, so you can actually like tell difference between like, but I'm not proficient enough in any Asian language, written language, or spoken to tell those difference. So I didn't want to assume. Oh, that's French. I know that one. Four languages at 17. That's impressive. Auf Deutsch. Maybe. Ugh, I was convinced. I was convinced that was French. I was close. Maybe. I don't know a world map either. There's currently multilingual, like trilingual, quadrilingual, trilingual warfare happening in my chat. Somebody help! Somebody help! Help! English is not your native language. It's mine. You're Asian? Cool. Is it quadlingual or tetralingual? Alright, because English was involved too. So yeah, it was tetralingual. Tetra's 5, right? I'm not a linguist. I don't know the words for things. I just know the equations for them. And that's Spanish. That one I do know is Spanish. Tetra is just the better for. Tetrahedron. Oh yeah, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. Oh, and... Grove terminology for that we should rename quadrilaterals to tetragons. So then they sound like a transformer name. I can get behind that. I can get behind that. I never did. I don't particularly watch movies. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start doing that too. Oh, it's like how once people got a ton of signatures. Sorry, cookies in my teeth. People got a ton of signatures on a petition to ban the use of dihydrogen monoxide. Which this might not show super clearly, but dihydrogen monoxide. Oh, best anime character? Easy. Asuka Langley Soryu from Neon Genesis Evangelion. You did not just put every single language version of Toaster in the chat. You need to add more nonsense onto the screen. That is the highest pH out of all the acids. It's true. It's true. It's very dangerous. Do you know that people who consume it are almost guaranteed to die? And like in its pure form, it has no scent, like no real taste. It could be in your bloodstream and you wouldn't even know. That's terrifying. I mean, yeah, not everyone who's ever consumed it has died. Clearly. 'Cause I've consumed it, and I'm still kicking for now. I maybe agree or maybe disagree or maybe have 70%. 70% of what? What? Say that if we partially ordered all compounds by the pH, DHMO is the supreme of the acid. I love you. I love you so much. That makes me so happy. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I finally have a group of people I can just say stupid nerd jokes with. I was once raiding, back when I raided Final Fantasy. I was raiding and I made a joke about vectors and like vector addition, and I got dead silent response except for the one guy who is a chemist who went like, yeah, the supremum does not need to be contained in it. But the one guy who was a chemist was just like, I get that. And I was just like, well, at least he got it. Did he laugh at it? No, but he got it. to fully cook it or to disintegrate it? And what type of acid? There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of problems. Yeah. I don't know enough chemistry to answer that. But won't we also need the rate that it does that? That'd be pretty interesting, actually, because, like... Oh, I thought you were just trying to hide this chicken from someone. You're like, I want to ruin dinner. Let's kill this chicken. Stoichiometry doesn't concern itself with rate. True, but I mean, like... It'll complete sometime. That's true. You just wanted to know how much acid. You just wanted an amount. Alright, fair enough. In my mind, I just automatically assumed, like, how it would be done quickly. And so you'd also need a rate, like, what's the strongest acid that you can have to fully disintegrate it with it, or fully destroy it within a certain time frame. It's exponentially decaying. True. So then what, could you model it like a normal distribution and say once it's below like a certain tail value? No chicken is approximately 136.7 pounds. You don't know that. You're gonna say no chicken ever has been that big? Definitively? Bold statement. Bold statement. What if there was just a really, really big chicken? And I have nothing to say for the second half of this sentence. The thumbs up? That's how much a human weighs? That's the joke? I think other things could weigh that much too. You're saying that only humans are the only things that can weigh approximately 136.7 pounds? Or are you saying that that's a specific... It's a specific problem? You don't do ethics, it's not your problem what you do with the math. Mm-hmm. The union set of all those chickens. It's the wrong your. The set of all those chickens unioned could make up approximately the weight of one person. Dissolve multiple chickens faster than a human. I guess it would also depend on, like, possibly the size of your container. The highest surface to area volume ratio, that's true. There's a lot more, you can cover the entirety of the chicken, even if your total volume is the same. Each chicken gets entirely encased, whereas the human, this part would get not encased by the acid until the stuff in between melts. makes me so happy that this is the conversation. I love stupid conversations. They make me unbelievably happy. It's not melting! It's not melting! Weird thing to get upset over. Acids don't melt. All right. I disrupt your protein structure. That's fine. Just eat a lot of red meat and your protein will come right back. That's how that works, right? I don't know. Not a biologist either. That sounds like scary ethics again. And we don't deal in those here. Ethics are out of our microwave. That's a strong counter-argument. Why ethics should matter in mathematics. Oh, I thought that was fridge. Ugh. Scalar dedication of elements. Memories could be bottled. Which one would you keep on a nightstand? So the one that you bottle, can you no longer remember it? And like, what's exactly the logistics of that? Because depending on that, my answer will change significantly. If sigma... Oh, it's still there. Oh, it's just like one that you really like? That you're like just like keeping treasured? Kind of thing? Mine unironically would be really cheesy and stupid. But yeah, I know exactly what I would keep. Why is that the inverse? I'm gonna call some terminology. Actually have it. Symbols. Just swap that a while ago. Luminaries, that makes sense. Preamble stuff. Right. That just means it's 1-to-1 and onto. 1 and onto. Is free will real or just a convincing illusion? The thing about that though is like, if this is my thing about people who are like, oh, we live in a simulation. Even if you do live in a simulation, even if we do live in a simulation, it's like, it's what you got. Like, because this isn't quote-unquote real, it discounts everything that is in existence. Okay, but I'm also gonna die one day. Does that mean that existence doesn't matter? That I don't matter? It's this whole question of like, it's the world we have. So even if your decisions aren't made technically by yourself, it's like your decisions are made by a higher up power or something, or like something that's pre-programmed in your brain, doesn't matter, because it's still the life that you're living and you're still experiencing the resultant emotions and outcomes. So then, yeah, what does real mean? It like really, it's just, it's kind of all real. Because it's what our brains are perceiving. You live in a simulation, everyone else is a Truman showing me as an NPC. You weren't supposed to find out this way. Would moments still feel special? I don't know. Because they're still enjoyable experiences. As long as we're still having enjoyable experience, like if you eat a bowl of ice cream or something, and you're really like, if I eat this cookie and enjoy it, I have more cookies. Does that mean that I don't enjoy it because I know that I have more cookies? Whether or not we would get bored eventually is another question, but exactly. AI generated food, it's all the rage. To stop myself from saying something. I am really glad that I've gotten quick at just like stopping myself from saying nonsense. You can enjoy things knowing that there's more, but you can still enjoy them after having had them after an abstract... Oh, but can you still enjoy them after having had them after an abstractly large amount of time? Well, it's like Baron said, where it's like... that assumes that no new things will exist. Stuff will keep being made. Could we theoretically toast bread? Yeah, I don't see by rubbing it together from friction. Yeah, I don't see why not. Like, why not? That assumes no upper bound on how enjoyable things can be. I wouldn't say necessarily there's... Well, actually, that's an interesting point. So, a number of years ago, there's even a study that suggested that happiness after a certain income value started to result in diminishing returns. So yeah, I think we will... So, in the same sense, yeah, I think we will hit an asymptote eventually. Because it's like, you can only eat, pen trick. I can't do any fun ones. I can't do any, like, really cool ones, unfortunately. You can only, receive so many... Eat the same food so many times. Why haven't we colonized the ocean floor like we dream of colonizing Mars? Because it is much more difficult. Because think about it. When you're in space, you have nothing pressing on you. Like, you do have external forces, but it's a vacuum, so you have much less pressing on you. When you're underwater, you have an unbearable amount pressing on you because there's literal ocean above you. So, like, it's more difficult. When I know how to do this, my brother-in-law can do this. My brother-in-law can do the one where he spins it, and it goes like that. The precision. Just like me, it's extra fine, even if though that's not really registering, but... Alright, just like me, it's also extra blurry. You should colonize Mars to get away from the ocean, of course. Yeah. Ocean's scary. Have you ever seen an anglerfish? It's freaky. It's freaky, man. Game over, man. Game over. I want pesto pasta, and we have pesto pasta downstairs, and I really want to go heat some up. I'm really... I had it there. I had it there for a second. Okay. I suck. So much worse down there. Oh, yeah. I suck. How does he do it? Suck. I suck. The line from my fingerless glove thing. Come on. Suck. I suck. A right small supporter? What's the... Oh! Am I a small right supporter for maths? What would that entail? Hi, Kagami! Oh, VTubers. I appreciate fellow VTubers. Other anime people. Other people that are definitely not people and just anime. Pretend you don't see these. We in the business call them hands. You're sure that you're glad that you keep asking good questions? Absolutely, Shane. You're like MVP chatter. You're MVP chatter for that stuff. So, like, right small supporter for maths. What would that entail? Like, I think so. When I'm taking notes, I like to be concise. But then when I'm like giving examples to people, I'll just be like, and just like draw all over the place. Yeah. Oh, you sound so enthusiastic. Sound so enthusiastic for my gratitude. Because Kagami showed up, now I have to absolutely go and I want to look at Kagami's channel. Kagami, I'm looking at your channel, don't tell anyone. Ooh. I have like lore and everything? It's so cool. You're so pretty. Oh my god. Oh, and 60,000 subs. Guys, I'm nervous now. Your vent trick was so perfect. It summoned another VTuber. Okay, I gotta keep doing more now. I suck. I suck. That time I almost had it. You see it? It like spun up here. I said, I'm going back to studying. And switching YouTubers, you've been fun, but I'm moving on. Oh my god, you're abandoning me. You're abandoning me. The assumption that you're not allowed to watch anyone else. I believe that's the yandere. Theorem. Let's see what this one is. Projective. Oh, I didn't actually know that. Or if I did know that, I certainly didn't remember that. Oh, I think this pen is dying. This pen is starting to de-ink. I'm so sad. It's a joke. You were never sure. That's what they say. They say that now, and then they abandon me. Then they leave me for the pretty anime girls. Instead of the anime girls that are just boys. The image equal at I feel like I've heard this song before and I don't know where. Bury it in your backyard? I don't have a backyard. I'm sorry. I'll burn it as like a Viking funeral. Like a Viking funeral pyre. It'd be awesome. That's what I should do. I completely forgot what I was doing. Objective, alright. And is injective. I got distracted looking at my YouTube. I wasn't showing you chat. Chat doesn't get to see my YouTube. I promise it's nothing bad, just nothing good either. It's pretty boring, in fact. It's 99% VTubers. The other 10% is video game OSTs. You want to see? It would be content. And who doesn't love content? Is there such a thing as a good YouTube page? No. I mean, stretchy pencils that can bend? No. One that wouldn't feel weird to show. Alright, let me open up my YouTube and just see if I would feel fine showing you guys that. Yeah, it's just all VTubers. Guess that's a video game OST. That's VTubers. Stellar Blade. Fallout videos. I like Fallout challenge. I like video game challenge runs. Game OSTs. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just game OSTs, VTubers, and Fallout challenge runs. Not even just Fallout challenge runs, just game challenge runs. I think I would feel mostly safe showing people my YouTube. Am I gonna? Absolutely not. Correction. You had ownership for about 2 minutes, and then Zoro got ownership. And then after Zoro turned down the ownership, by default, the ownership went back to me. So currently I'm still the owner of my own Discord. Sorry. But actually, you know what? Go ahead. Tell me what your plans would be if you were to be the owner of my Discord. Come on. The owner, how it works is I established some sort of ruling for like who gets control of the Discord based off something dumb. I don't even remember what. It was like what was it? It was like if you like correctly guess something about me. If they correctly guess something about me, or if they these cannot write, but they can bend, so there's that. Same way that a wooden pencil can guide. Okay, so those are those pencils you were talking about. Unironically, this has been probably the most productive study session I've had in a while. It's crazy. Is that a live cookie camera? Cookie? 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 It's those are cookies that I made. Those are the cookies I made. I just have a picture of them. Because I wanted to take a professional looking picture of them. I need a better webcam. Oh, that one sucks. I say that every Tuesday would be talk day. Listen to people's opinions or complaints, then throw them out afterwards. That's a good point. Just like write it down on a piece of paper and be like, all right, I've heard all of your opinions and I don't care. And then just Play Cookie Clicker? No, thank you. I have no interest in Cookie Clicker. I've seen people play Cookie Clicker. I don't want to play Cookie Clicker. Is defined as a objective. A stream where we give our criticism and tell us why it's invalid or stupid for even bringing it up. I like this. I like this idea. But knowing me, I would probably be like, oh wait, no, that's a really good idea. And then immediately forget what I'm supposed to be doing. And then just end up like changing myself. And 90% of it would just be Shane spamming, we need more toasters, we need more toasters. We're playing Getting Over It. Oh, I've never actually played that one. There are a few games that I have like lined up that I want to play. I have the first Little Nightmares, because that game always looked fun. So I have the first Little Nightmares. I have a few like longer games, but I have a game that I need to specifically. Shane is gonna love this game, and so whenever he watches, that game is just for him. I need to find a time to play this specific game, because anyways, what book or subject are you studying? We are currently reviewing Advanced Linear Algebra. Need more toasters. In order to prepare for my foray into grad school next year. To one, and onto. The game is actually kind of about toasters. The game is unironically kind of about toasters. Not even kind of. It's kind of it is about toasters. I have a game that's about toasters that I'm saving for a certain day. I don't know what day yet. I'm gonna have to find a day to do it, but that will be a day. It will also be a day when my stuff keeps working. Okay, there we go. It's still working. Congratulations for going into fancy school. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I never know that was worth that. I'll probably never see that again from this 2008, but good for this. The vector space of all functions with finite support mapping from set B to the field F. I didn't even realize at some point it switched from the lo-fi video to a cozy coffee shop music video. Cool. I mean, I'll take it. Direct delta, or it's kind of a direct delta. X is defined as the piecewise. Fancy way. Fancy way of calling it the standard basis. Related genres. Yeah, they were in my like studying playlist right next to each other, because I do have YouTube playlists specifically for stuff like this, but I only have one Spotify playlist. But YouTube playlists I've set up for stuff like this. And it says it's no copyright, but can't wait to get flagged for copyright. It always happens. It's so fun. Okay, that's a good section there, because then they move on to the rank plus nullity theorem. I unironically feel like I could do the same stream idea just like over and over again, like 10 days a week. Gonna go to sleep. I would wish you a Merry Xmas and a Happy New Year. Anyways, like to say bye and stuff, so bye. Thanks for stopping by, Shane. Have a good night. I'm glad you can make it. Look forward to the game about toasters, because it's coming. I just saw Shane's suggestion in the Discord was just cookie clicker. Android and Chromios? What does that mean? Android and Chromios merging? What? I have no idea if that's nonsense or not. Let's Google it to find out. Oh, Chrome OS. I did not know that they were merging. I just read it as Chromios. I was like, Chromios? Yeah, I remember using it back when I had I used to have a Chromebook. I was not a big fan of it. Like, I like Windows 10. I find it funny that underneath the hood, Windows 10 still looks like Windows Vista in a lot of ways. And stuff. I like Linux, or not Linux, I like Mac OS too, because I have a MacBook, and it runs not bad. It runs not bad. I I like it because it also has integration between my different stuff. Although I will say that the thing I don't like about Apple products is I have like an iPhone, I have an iPad, and then I have a Chromebook. And the iPad I use for tons of stuff. The phone, of course, is a phone. And then the Mac runs really well, and it's really useful for passing data between it, and it's really useful for work stuff. Because like when I'm running code, it's really good to run code on that because it has a really powerful processor. Because it also has a built-in GPU. And I can, take it around, so I can go code in the city. I can go code in the library. I can go code at home. You use Arch, by the way. I've never used. I don't know many OSs. I don't know a ton of like system optimization stuff. A lot of my coding experience is in like mathematical application and whatnot. So I can do a lot of the basic stuff. I know the basics of I use Arch, by the way. I did notice you. I just don't know what that is. Open source rolling release Linux distribution. Okay, there you go. You're noticed. God, get over it. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's pretty cool though. What's like the benefits to it? What benefits do you see from using that? Windows doesn't have portions that look old. It's just that Windows 10 UI is 29 previous Windows versions in a trench coat. I mean, you're not wrong. Oh, God. Oh my God, it really is all the same. That's the thing. Like under the hood, it's all the same. It's free and open source. That's cool. I'm also a programmer. Linux feels more right. That's what I've heard. I've heard that Linux is the go-to language for programming. That's where you're gonna feel best, because you basically will have access to, whereas a ton of libraries on like Windows or Mac OS will need special distributions for them. Linux, you'll be able to work with anything. It's so much easier. Get system updates constantly. That's awesome. Everything new works. That's awesome. God. Yeah, I've only ever had to use Linux for like programming once, and that was for utilizing some specific image processing software on a Windows. And so I used the built-in like Ubuntu thing, and then I was able to access it. Windows uses backslashes, separators, and OS compliant APIs on Linux, and even macOS actually let you do what you want to do. Linux also has a bunch of tools built in. I can just type EA in my terminal and shows everything that can be updated. That's awesome. That's so awesome. Yeah, so I totally get it for programming. But if I'm not a programmer, why do I own programmer socks? Questions for later. macOS is actually based on Unix too, by the way, but FreeBSD instead of Linux. That I did know. I did know it was also based on Unix. The ramifications of that have never come to affect me. They're actually stem socks. There you go. There you go. That's my workaround. It's so weird. It's so weird being a streamer. I'll say stuff like that, and people react and like people respond to stuff I say like that. But other time, like in my real life or my entire life, I've said stuff like that, and I just get like no response. They're just like, okay. Programs that usually work on Linux and opposite way. Yeah, I've seen that's part of why I got my MacBook, is because I know a lot of stuff was more freely open to Mac than Windows. But I mean, yeah, I guess it would depend on the stuff. Not perfect. Mac also uses Darwin. I went to do its own thing. Survival of the best programming languages. Sorry, I was reading something. Rust is the best programming language. We have memory safety and crabs. I hear the mathematicians love that one. Haskell is the most beautiful language, wildly impractical for anything I want to do, but beautiful. I've never really delved into anything. I've used like MATLAB, I've used C, I've used Python, I've used R. That's kind of the extent of it. I've looked at Julia before, and that was just because it kind of mixes a lot of those, but I've never delved into anything. And the thing about delving into that kind of stuff is really tough for me because if I don't have like a set goal, and so I have to have something definitive. If I don't have something definitive to work with or like work towards, then I'm gonna be like, cool, I have all this information. Okay, bye. And so like studying math works because there are exercises and stuff, and there's proofs, and there's stuff for me to do there. Studying just programming on my own is a bit more difficult because I would need a specific thing to do with it. You love how Julia handles arrays. Oh, yeah. Like, the whole... It's... I remember it being, like, more... What's the word? No, not, like, I want to say something than Python when it came to that. Crabs, whatever. Whatever the case. Yeah, if I can find a reason to do it, then I think I'll be good. And current? Maybe. Maybe concurrent. Regardless. I just need a definitive goal and or project. Oops, sometimes. And just saying, oh, I'm gonna do something to do something is a bit tough. Using concurrent to describe it. The broadcasting syntax is so nice too. I should delve back into programming. But I'm like doing this prep. Again, if I have a definite reason, I totally can. I just need that reason. I need my 13th reason. Wait a minute, that means something else. I need a reason. APL will also be making an encryption collection project that's in C, but also coded with Python Haskell right now. I will set on project channel once I decide if Java or Rust is next. Ooh. I like this. I like this idea. I also like when people send projects, because I like learning stuff and looking at stuff and be like, oh my god, I had no idea to do that. Oh, that's so cool. Or just, your job. Or even just, oh, this has inspired me to do something now. I love that you censor it. You censor the fact that you're saying Java? That is some hatred right there. I would the coding that shall not be named. The type system in Java is a real type system. I've never worked in it. Why is it not valid? You can call Python Haskell from C++ for some reason nobody told me. Oh. Oh yeah. Well, I thought you could do the reverse. Java's spread by indoctrination. It's dynamic typing that pretends to be static. I think I know what that means. So then, does it matter what you declare anything as then? If that can just be changed, why declare anything at all? The size of the variables and memories are undefined at all times. Oh yeah, because you're never necessarily setting a set memory, so you like run into you put order of a text up over 6, you only have a type of the variable. Yeah. Okay, I remember that. Yeah. And then that the memory thing has some potentially real bad ramifications, I'd assume. Because assuming that like there's nothing to just stop the data type, an imperfect data type from entering a different section or like a prompt, and then boom, it crashes the system because it runs out of memory or something. Because it was like, oh, did you mean a string of length X? And it was like, no, I put in a floating point of 200 variables. You know what's supposed to be in a variable, and forcing it to be a single type cache error is more ahead of time. Yeah. Java has type checking. At least now you can have downcast errors. Oops. I love the hatred that programmers will display for different programming languages always makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. Like, I remember I had a programming instructor who taught like the basics of Python at MATLAB, and he hated R with a passion. He said R was the stupidest, most useless language ever. And then I start my internship, and then tons of people are just working in R around me. They're like, yeah, I do all my statistical and data analysis in R. And I was like, As an example, you can take a generic function, takes an array of any type and element, and finds the minimum as long as there's a total order between the elements, and it doesn't matter what type is in the array. Okay. And then, so in Java, it's generic. So what's the mathematician's equivalent of this? I hate Roman numerals. Adding numbers is hard as hell. Oh, like not realizing there's a basic or like an easier way to do something. And just a basic type check and courses to object. And so just the generic object ends up not being able to interact with anything, I'd assume. That everything can be turned to an object? Or is it just like it has no restrictions then? It has no restrictions or too many restrictions? Multiply LP by 3. The mathematician's equivalence? Yeah, using something that is archaic and then complaining about. Yeah, without converting normal numerals. No, because the JVM doesn't care. The JVM is the actual runtime. Why is there sandbag noises in this song? Oh. You're right about this order. Which channel does the best going? STEM Talk. Yeah, the STEM Talk channel would definitely be best for that. It makes me happy that people are willing to go on nerdy rants. Yeah, like I said, I'm more than happy to learn. Whether or not I can pull all the information I need to from it, I can also just look up information and whatnot to fill in the gaps. Because that's also something that I will do. They're putting pockets of sands in my coffee. Oh, good. Oh, great. Just what I wanted. Some extra sandy coffee. Oh, boy. Oh, jeepers. All you need to know is that Java's delayed. You want to hear about how it handles exceptions? You know what? Pop off. Pop off. I do want to hear about how it handles exceptions. Space. Remember in bashing Java, you were supporting Rust for me. All right, because you have to choose whether or not you're going to go with Java or Rust for the project. Throwable base class, and everything you can throw needs to extend throwable. So when you throw an exception, it immediately runs to the caller, then the caller's caller, and so forth. Yeah. Yeah, checking kind of like the backlog for where the error really initiates, or like where the error can be checked. You can have a try block, and anything thrown there can be intercepted and handled in a catch block. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. In Python, what's it called? Try except block, but yeah. Yeah. I'm familiar with just like that basic idea. You're giving code examples too, I love it. Because it has to be special. Right. Just like how you would raise a child. In C, it's called an if x equals 0. It's called a million if-else statements. Exception and error. Right, right, yeah, because in Python you would raise the... I can raise the exact, except, yeah, I remember. I just, the syntax. Whether or not I know the terminology correctly, I know the syntax. Or, I see what you mean. Things that you can really handle and errors for things that you can't. Checks out. I follow. For example, if the JVM runs out of it, it throws an out-of-memory error, which is derived from error, and you aren't really supposed to do anything about that. Exceptions for if a file operation failed or something. Okay, yeah. An error is there because it's an inherent problem with maybe the process, or an inherent problem with the process or the system. It's not necessarily an error with the items, I guess. A systemic issue, not necessarily a situational issue. Okay. Things you're expected to handle. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's a really good way to phrase it. from an exception, there's derived by called a runtime exception. Okay. That one also sounds familiar. I remember that one. The Java designers decided that they wanted to check exceptions, which means that you list all of the exceptions that can come from a function. But there's a bunch of little things like null pointer that can pretty much come from anywhere. Oh, so does it just go through basically a billion different possible exceptions to like check against instead of having like subsections? Is the issue like you're dealing with like a big O of n? So really you have to list any exceptions that are subclasses of exceptions, but not runtime exception. But not runtime exception. Okay. Sorry. Page 6, that's what it is. I'm looking for math definitions right now, but I'm reading and listening. I'm reading and listening, I promise. Adjective is 1, 2. Surjective 1, 2. I can. If your search engine wants to load, I'll send a link to the list of exceptions. Okay. At first I thought that was you like explaining it like in a hypothetical. I've imagined it. I imagine that list is rather long because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. Even I know that much. Rank. Oh, the rank of A. M is surjective, namely onto. If and only if the rank of A equal to M. Okay. Search engines have been getting absurdly heavy recently. Oh, has that been a thing across the board? Because I've noticed that too, where like I tried to just like I don't even remember what I was doing, but it was earlier today. Where I like open a browser and I like tried to type in something and it was just like I've heard about DuckDuckGo. I've heard that people like that one. Basis matrices. That's why I heard about that one. I was like, where have I heard about that? And I was like, oh, that's... Where have I heard about DuckDuckGo? Search for instead of a bunch of ads. That sounds nice. Imagine not getting ads in your basic search results. I can never measure that. No, not that. Anyways, so I take it that the list of exceptions is exceptionally large. And so my initial assumption was just like, or my initial assumption is that you essentially run through, when you try to go through everything, what am I saying? You try to throw an exception, and either you have to list every possible exception to accept, or it's like comparing against everything, basically. And so you're doing like a big O runtime worth of the exceptions list? There's a lot of exceptions, but generally only a few that can come from your function. That makes sense. Two plus two isn't probably gonna throw an exception about a string. Probably. I hope not. Particular files, I just might do say there's an IOE exception. An IO exception. Oh, input, output. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna finish my cookie now. While you type, I will finish this cookie. One plus one, or 11 plus 1 is 111. 11 minus 1 is 10. Oh! Talking about Java. That one's even more hated. I didn't know you could hate something more than you hate Java. That's impressive. Ugh. So, any non-primitive value could be a null value and therefore could throw a null pointer exception. So is the problem then that you could, in theory, your function, even though your function has no reason to check against a null pointer exception, it ends up checking against a null pointer exception. Like, it just checks against everything, even if that exception wouldn't be valid, and it goes, oh, that's fine, and then just it like moves on, but it doesn't matter because it does this for every single exception. Is that the trick? Oh, I suck. Come on, I want to do this flip again. JavaScript is made for the web, and I guess it makes sense that you want to get your web page just load and get a little bit wrong after, then fail entirely. That's fair. You know what? We'll accept that. I've never done any sort of like web development or anything, so I've never had to deal with any of that. Like I said, all my programming, like coding experience has been applied in the sense of mathematical application and analytical application, statistics, image processing for the sake of analysis and whatnot, signal processing, but I guess that makes sense. I know a lot more about this than I do about programming. I could technically learn about everything, but that could take a while. If we were to force all exceptions to be explicit, then almost every function would have to say it's capable of throwing a null pointer exception. This is totally unrelated, but why are people keep playing playlists that are called like ultra masculine white girl playlist and then it's a picture of Dr. House on it? Because these keep popping up. There are things like arithmetic exception that can come from any division, class cast, exception that can come from any downcast. And these are the things that are so common that we don't want to have to list them. Okay. But I take it that Dr. House, yeah, you know, House MD. You know, we'll put a picture of him on screen too. Just so that it's clear who I'm talking about. We'll set him right there. That guy. So they're categorized in a runtime exception so they can be omitted from the explicit thrown annotations. Plus 3D7 I might be missing the point with it. Also, I think out of the three of us, I think you're the only one here getting those playlists. What? That's crazy. I can't be the only one. They keep popping up, and I don't know why. I've never clicked on a single one. But I think that's probably a me problem. I'm gonna be really confused when next time I open up OBS, and not only is it gonna be on my webcam, I'll be like, why is my webcam there instead of like a screen? There's gonna be all these pictures. Keep getting retrospect 53 minutes instead. Let's see. Here, let me just go through. So we got vtuber, Yakuza, vtuber, ultra masculine white girl playlist for hitting the gym for some reason, 12 Shadows gameplay, vtuber, Maxor, music, Tom Petty. When's the last time I listened to Tom Petty? I don't even like Tom Petty. I don't dislike Tom Petty, but I have no affinity for him. Music, challenge run, vtuber, wrestling intro, vtuber, no idea what that is, vtuber, Yakuza OST, vtuber, OST, challenge run, VTuber, study music, OST, a clip from Uma Musume. I've never even seen the horse anime. Music, challenge run, a blahage, VTuber. Anyways, the point is, it's mostly just the VTubers. I love that you tested it. I love that you took the time to look at what someone sent, and you're like, this doesn't work on my machine. That's funny. That's some beautiful nerd stuff. That's what I want my Discord to be. It makes me happy that it's that. I keep getting jump scared by my own hand because I forget that I have my webcam on, and then I'll just like reach in, I'll be like, huh, because I'll see myself right there doing stuff. It keeps catching me off guard. Yeah. I am happy that I have a Discord that's full of just nerdy STEM talk. It's 387 with GCC for the morning. The fact that they're just having this back and forth in the Discord. Oh God, this back and forth in the Discord about. Wait, why did I do that? I took out my hair tie and then put it over my hand thingy. What did you miss? Oh, an extensive amount, Shane. Let's see. Dimensions of vector spaces, dihydrogen monoxide, theorem 2.1, bijective linear transformations, I guess more of it, yeah, isomorphisms, which are bijective linear transformations, the rank plus nullity theorem, and I was gonna do change of bases matrices, but I feel like I probably won't do that tonight. You also missed Dr. House. He's here now. I'm trying to think of more stuff to add, and I finished my cookies. Talk-wise? Oh, I have no idea. It's just kind of been going. It's been mostly about programming stuff. They've been teaching me about Quark in particular has been explaining to me why they hate Java. Those who don't know, GCC and Clang are both compilers that can turn CQ into executables. Okay, we complained about Java while Poisson had to listen to us, right? That's more or less what it was. It wasn't bad. Just as long as you're aware of what it was. Okay? Just as long as you knew. Now I really want to find more shitposty pictures I usually don't swear. Yeah, I don't have another word for it. I really want to find more shitposty pictures to add to the screen. Always watch the stream later. Not if I private it just to spite you. But I won't do that. You know what, Shane? Actually, just because you're here right now, you know what? Just because it really is just a normal interaction between STEM nerds. I mean, honestly, kind of. Let's, my God. Genuinely curious, actually, how will this affect stream quality? Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. How will this affect stream quality? We just said to give him a toast. We're gonna put that behind me. Okay, there we go. There we go. I'm just gonna be going. The goal is that by the end of the stream, there's nothing. There's just absolutely nothing. Oh, of course. I feel like if this doesn't really capture the importance of what my stream is about, then nothing will. Just I feel like this really says it all. This says it more than anything could ever say. These, Mason, these are what the numbers mean. We have our ultra masculine white girl over here. We have cookies. Ferris? Like Ferris Bueller? That's the only Ferris I know. An insult because you don't understand math in 2nd grade. A toaster. These thingies. A cap. No, I keep forgetting that I like a cat boy. There's so much. It captures it perfectly. ADHD, but this looks like a PSA about it. Ferris the crab. I have no idea who that is. Let's Google it. Ferris the crab. This is amazing. The first crustacean. Oh, that was the crab joke you said earlier. Oh, in that case, hold on a minute. What's just a Google search image for ADHD? All right, this is what I found in a Google search for ADHD. They're the original VTubers. Okay, we're on this. Just shrink that a little bit. Let's just smack that on right there. Perfect. It's perfect. If your mascot doesn't have a language, what are you doing? Exactly. It's clearly your language isn't worth doing then. Isn't worth learning. Because there's no mascot. How can people get invested? It's the reason. I could have just like told you this stuff, but what if there's an anime boy? That changes things. That changes things. And who is that? Let's Google who that is. Ken Thompson is American Pioneer. He worked at Bell Labs. Oh, fun fact: most of my favorite professor, he worked at Bell Labs too. Cool. And guess who's getting added? Guess who's getting added? It's Ken Thompson now. He gets a little spot right there. It's a little spot right there. It's a little, I can't, this is hard to do. Little spot right there. Hello. Here. Right here. Look at that little Ken Thompson. To stir coffee, use a spoon and not Neiman Marcus limited vitamin black streams. Ooh. Oh, it's a department store chain. I refuse to put in a chicken jockey. But I will put in coffee. I don't know what it is. You have some bad latte art. Oh, I know. It's Ken Thompson is looking very disappointed at this bad latte art. Automatic tea stir is a science fair project once in middle school. Just ripped out the plastic portions of a car toy and jammed a spoon to the wheel. That's awesome. That's perfect. I love it. It's perfect. You just hook it on and then just stick it in, and then it just flies everywhere. I have to condense all of my hand movements to this square now. Alright, so let's see what we got. Now that my hair tie's undone, I like turn and my hair is just like flopping around so much. It gets smaller and smaller until we can't see your beautiful hands anymore. That's the plan. What else can we add? Because the goal is that people will come into the street and be unable to make sense of anything. I got something. What's it called? A Lipschitz function. Lipschitz continuous function, sorry. Got a duck. First, I have to add an out of focus. Just add a Lipschitz continuous function right here. Just ask your viewers to buy devices with more width resolution. That's true. Oh, hold on, wait, which one is this? Yeah, that's the Lipschitz one. That will go, yeah, right there. That way I can put it kind of behind me. I'll shrink it a bit. Like right there. There we go. The worst part is I'm gonna have to go in and delete all of this stuff afterwards. A duck? I will do a duck. And a widescreen TV. Extra wide screen TV. Okay. Okay, hold on. I think we got something. Wait, no, that one will work. Let's see what else we can put in there. Trying to find a duck. Trying to find a good non-AI generated duck. Tougher than you might think. Alright, I got it. Alright, I got it. So if this doesn't perfectly capture what the stream is about, I just don't know what will. So as we see here, yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, so an AI trainers look for duck pictures to train their model. Do they just get more AI generated ducks? I mean, that's true. That's what happens with AI all the time, is it just cycles on itself. Why do you think ChatGPT got so stupid? Ooh, gay fractals. That's a great sentence to say out of context. Let's just run through with what we're working with. So of course, let's start with, we have an apology for the bad handwriting and resolution. Of course. We have our ultra masculine white girl, Dr. House. We have the effects of ADHD right next to that, to the right of that. Now, in the bottom left corner, we see something very interesting. Okay, we see something very interesting, and that's a plate of cookies. Plate of cookies that I made, mind you. These aren't AI generated cookies. These are my cookies. To the right of that, we have some bad latte art being very disappointedly observed by one elderly Ken Thompson. And then we have a criticism for your lack of understanding of college prep math. To the right, we have the esteemed toaster, which is topped off by a duck, a Lipschitz function, and a widescreen TV. Talk like there's nothing on screen. Okay. I'm just gonna talk. All right, so I figure right now we'll move on to the change of basis matrices. Okay. So suppose that beta, yeah, we're gonna say, well, we'll just call it, say, B, actually. Capital B, and which is a set of B1 to B sub n, and capital C, which is made up of C of 1 to C sub n. Okay? They're ordered bases for a vectored space V. I'm going to say that they are both ordered bases. They're both ordered bases for a vector space V. And you can see those, you can see where I have those right here. Okay. So underneath that, we're gonna, how do we want to write this? We want to kind of indicate a few relations, so I'm going to just write those out so you can see them pretty clearly. Okay. And that lowercase v I'm referring to, man, what just do? Oh my god, you have a You have a whole story for it. That's amazing. So if we have a map that goes from a change, the kind of vector being affected by basis beta to vector being affected by basis, call that just C. That's the same as saying, all right, let's actually make that function phi. Oh, here, let me shift it a bit. Is that better? All right, perfect. As long as that's a bit clearer. All right, so as we can see here, you know, this is what we would call a change of basis operator. And it's covered by this sort of notation, which might seem a bit confusing at first, but trust me, it's pretty intuitive when you think of it in terms of matrix multiplication. It's actually pretty nice. We can think of it just kind of as like an operator, so I'm gonna write it out like this. We're actually gonna... No, we can barely fit onto this page. We can just barely fit onto this page. Say that A, the resultant, or the transformation matrix A. In this case, E sub 1 is just our standard basis vector. Is it just me, or has this music been looping? I think it's been looping. Like, it's supposedly a 3-hour playlist, but I think this music has been looping. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. And then we do the inverse here. And we're just going to say this particular vector after it's been transformed. Because now we want to counteract it with the inverse of that transformation with respect to beta. Looping but just fades into the background. I mean, true. The fact that, like, at one point I was like, da 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 da, and I, like, recognized it, and I was like, wait, where have I heard that before? And I was like, oh, I heard it here 15 minutes ago. But that's not acceptable. Not acceptable at all. So, as you can see here, they kind of counteract each other with the kind of like change of basis stuff. And finally, that gives us, because then it's kind of like multiplying it by the identity because you've done the inverse and the regular on either sides. And so we're just left with beta, or sorry, these like transformed b sub 1 to b sub n, also now changed by the change of basis from C. And boom, there you go. Perfect. It's finished, and that's how you can clearly see that your transformation matrix can be represented by that change of basis matrix by utilizing the fact that these linear operators are moving from this basis to this basis. That was actually one of the things that kind of like tripped me up a lot previously. Like when I first did this like a few years ago. And so being able to like see it worked out clearly really helped me. And so I hope it like really helps anyone who's watching this or catches this stream later, because it's tough. The notation is really tricky because they just kind of like throw it at you, you know? But hey, if it works, it works. Standard matrix, that's what I was considering the word as. The linear transformation. Yeah, okay. Well, kind of scares you that you can see it in your head right now. Good. See, that means I'm doing a good job. I think on that note, after 3.5 hours of this, it is time to call it. Because I want to go eat some pesto pasta if there's any left. It might have all gotten eaten. If so, I will be furious. But I will be satiated if it is not. Anyways, I just want to thank you all for hanging out and chatting. I have been Poisson Variance, your VTuber math lover, gamer, and nonsense enjoyer. So, I will catch you all next time. Thank you for teaching me so much. Thank you for hanging out, and I will definitely do another one of these because I actually was pretty productive, and I found that I was able to focus. So, yeah. And bye-bye. And now I have to go in and exit out all the pictures I put in here.